Gender equality in education means opening wide opportunities for everybody, trying to undo the injustices that are historical or contextual. The project's called AGI, which is Accountability for Gender Equality in Education. If you had a number or an indicator of gender equality in education, it would help steer policy and practice. That was the original idea.
But then beyond that, there is the process that we use that data for to engage stakeholders to really understand what's happening in their countries and to be able to make those comparisons and to understand the strengths and weaknesses of gender equality in their context.
We had funding for the first phase of AGI from FCDO and ESRC through the Raising Learning Outcomes, the RLO program. We worked in South Africa and Malawi.
We were able to discuss gender equality in entry education from 6 domains, from resources, values, opportunities, participation, knowledge, skills, and outcomes. The first AGE workshop took place in Jakarta. We were able to discuss indicators that directly impact girls and boys and have the gendered aspect, such as GPI, net enrollment rates, but we were also able to discuss other aspects surrounding enabling environments for gender equality in education, such as from health perspective, as well as from child protection perspectives, such as child marriage and violence in school.
We developed the AGI framework, and that as a tool has been kind of used and adapted by different organisations, United Nations Girls' Education Initiative and UNESCO, and then it's feeding into the process of working with governments to improve their planning. So that's been a massive impact of the project, I think.
We were very, very pleased that UNESCO picked up that framework. They interpreted it in their way. They published it in one of their global education monitors, and then they started to design learning materials around that framework.
We developed a final list of indicators for each of the 6 domains in the framework through bringing together theory on the capability approach with the results of our consultations and an audit of what's available cross-nationally. We collated the data and the metadata from a huge range of cross-national sources, and then a lot of the work has been to produce the first visualizations, which are in the form of radar graphs for each country.
So AGI provides a kind of a visualization using the radar graphs that gives you at a glance, you get to see what is happening with each of those domains. It gives you a more holistic picture of what's happening at each domain.
The SDGs are not so far away. We're now 5 years away from the goal that we've set for 2030, and I think we're very clear on how can we get better data that can help us try to understand how is progress and whether we can achieve them, but also what the next step needs to look like for us to continue even past 2030 to collect better data on gender and education.
Now we're using the framework to organize more workshop discussions at national level, local level, and at cross-national level. A country can now see at a glance what they're doing on gender equality in education, and we're releasing this data on 47 countries. And I think it's going to be very useful because now you know where you need to work because you can see it so clearly.